We're opening up Lowlands Project Space with the show Castles of Butter. And Castles of Butter it came about based on these uncertain times, and as well our situation in this venue. We're looking at how an artist prepares work, and we continue to build even though it might all just disappear and go away. Castles of Butter is all outdoors. We aren't ready to open the indoor space to the public, and so that created a neat constraint that the work has to withstand the weather or be willing to change with the weather. So the majority of the work is sculptural. There are a few 2D artists that are also going to be mounting some really large format work on the walls of the house. It is a group show of 10 artists or collaborations between artists, and there's all kinds of mediums. There's plywood cutouts, there's animal hides that are formed, there's glass sculpture, and a lot of variety, both in the subject matter, but then the artists themselves, from mid-career artists to some artists that are just at a university.
With my work, I speak more about my cultural identity. So I'm Jamaican, but I'm of East Indian and African ancestry. So it's kind of being in that in-between stage of your identity, not exactly fitting specifically in each group or being more dominantly. I say because I'm more obviously Black than I am East Indian. So trying to navigate throughout society in that, especially from a Jamaican society versus a Canadian, where in Jamaica I felt it was okay to wear my East Indian clothing and people would know because it's easy for us to identify each other. Whereas in Canada, if I did that, it'd just be like I'm a Black individual wearing Indian clothing. I really like the bark, and I really wanted to keep it in there any way I could. And I find that it's with my grinding, it's really nice to see the transition from the bark to the inner core of the wood. So it's kind of like identity from the exterior to the interior, kind of that kind of link to versus what you see versus what's underneath. So with the fabric that's going to be inside, that's my culture versus what you're seeing on the outside.
So for the name, we're thinking the wind is also inside, and that's kind of referencing architectural forms and kind of below the surface, below what we immediately see, because I think there's an emphasis on the aesthetic exterior.
Yeah, and that reflects the material as well, just using glass, which is generally a fairly utopian and bright and shiny future sort of material.
Often not meant to be seen.
Yes.
Glass is something that we constantly ignore, look through. There's this idea behind glass that it never breaks down, right? And that it lasts forever. And I think that definitely speaks to a lot of the systems that we've built. And
Absolutely, I would agree.
Yeah.
But there is, I think, a level of sort of transience to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
If it were to be dismantled and recycled, that would be fine as well. Or reused, I guess, in another sculpture like we did.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the opening on August 29th. It's a $10 admission, which is a fundraiser, but it is sliding scale, so I don't want anybody to stay away based on that admission. We are going to limit the number of people in a yard at a time, so everyone should feel safe moving about and just appreciating the artwork and being able to experience something different in the Highlands here.